Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds. Tuesday morning, yesterday, Team USA in the World Baseball Classic faced off against Mexico. And my favorite Royal in the entire world, Bobby Witt Jr., had two incredible defensive plays in that game.
He was one of the unsung heroes in the game. Had a couple of hits as well. Bobby Witt Jr. is a real catalyst. He's the leadoff hitter for Team USA. This was a really great game. 41,000 at Daikin Park in Houston. This is where the Astros play. 41,000, and in all honesty, Mexico probably had the home field advantage. There were more Mexican fans. Seemingly they were louder, but there were plenty of United States fans there as well. Great game, won by USA 5-3. All 5 runs coming in the third inning. Really interesting way this baseball game played out, Mike, because the real winner in this one, in my opinion, is the Boston Red Sox. Okay, how do you figure on that? Okay. In the fifth inning, the third inning, in the 5-run third inning for USA, Aaron Judge hits a 2-run homer. Okay, that's expected. Up comes Roman Anthony. Roman Anthony is a budding superstar in Major League Baseball. The Red Sox called him up to the minor leagues in June of last year, finished out the season with him, and is just hitting the daylights out of the ball. He's a really good player. He hits a 3-run homer. And he's a Boston Red Sox player. All 5 runs on home runs, Judge and Anthony. Mexico is shut out until Jarren Duran hits a couple of solo home runs. He's the Mexican right fielder, although he's not Mexican. He's a citizen of the United States, born and raised in California, went to college at Long Beach State, but his dad's of Mexican descent, so he's playing for the Mexican team. Jarren Duran is the Boston Red Sox right fielder. Boston Red Sox combined for, it would be 5 of the runs in this game in a 5-3 decision. They're going to have a solid ball club. Anyway, terrific game. USA wins it 5-3 over Mexico and advances to the next game, which is tonight. And USA will play Italy tonight. And the Italian team's undefeated so far in the competition, but they aren't in the same class. Now, having said that, watch them give the USA a tough time, but they're not really in the same class as Mexico. Still, basically American players, major league players, but not quite at that level. We'll see what happens. Anything can happen in baseball.
Yesterday, being 5-0 up until that point, I was pretty confident. Then Mexico coming back and scoring 3 runs was a little scary too, but we'll see. Switch gears here, college basketball. We got a little bit under a week left before Selection Sunday. This is probably one of the most important rankings of the year, wouldn't you say?
It is, and they do mean something, but it's more for discussion than anything else because the games are decided out on the court.
Yes, sir.
But when the selection committee goes in, the number 1 team in the Associated Press is Duke, as they should be. They're a very, very good team, and they get set to play in the Atlantic Coast Conference tournament now, coming up in the next few days. Arizona's 2nd, Michigan 3rd, Florida 4th, and Houston, that comprises the top 5. But that's only for discussion. The real rankings will be decided out on the basketball court. And Kansas, I don't know how they do this, but they're still number 14. Arkansas is right up there as well, 18th. Those teams are going to be in. I don't think there's any question about that. But where they are seeded and ranked makes a very big difference.
And last but not least, your favorite ladies basketball team, the UConn Huskies, continue to just win and win and win.
They are a machine, and yeah, they're my favorite team. I like to see them play because they're so. Gino Auriemma has done such a great job over the years. He's been there since 1976, 77, somewhere around there, and he's constructed that team in the way that he wants them to play. And it's a weaving motion offense that is really tough to stop. Everybody has a role on that team, and they play it to perfection. Connecticut defeated Villanova in the Big East Conference Championship 90-51, and that is Connecticut's 50th, their 50th straight win overall, and their 70th consecutive win in the Big East Conference. Now, Mike, I'm going to tell you, Connecticut's number 1 in the country, and a very good team, undefeated, 33-0, but they're playing in a conference that is down. The Big East Conference is nowhere near as strong as the Southeastern Conference or maybe even the Big 12, and certainly not the out on the Pacific Coast where UCLA is number 2, and their Big Ten Conference team this is going to be a heck of a tournament when Connecticut gets in there, and they'll find out Sunday who their opponent is going to be as well. But you think about that, 50 straight wins, 50. Connecticut holds the all-time record of 111 straight wins. That was broken about 4 years ago. And 50 straight wins now. They're really good.
So a very big day in the NFL yesterday. A lot of wheeling and dealing. Chiefs were real busy. Big news, obviously. Kelsey's coming back. Signed Kenny Walker, which I think is pointing to a offensive scheme change, and we can get into that if you want to. Re-signed Thornton, which I thought was big, and Tonga from the Patriots, which I thought it's interesting. It feels like Brett Veach kind of handled all of the offseason needs in the free agency. What do you think?
Well, I think they also had a big loss, in my opinion. Jalen Watson. He was penciled to go in and replace his buddy right there at McDuffie. But no, he's going with McDuffie to Los Angeles.
Yep.
Now, what does that do to the D-backs? Well, that's something that does need to be addressed. It's not certainly not a circumstance that the Chiefs have overlooked. That's not the case. But the signing of Kenneth Walker is a big deal. He was most valuable player in the Super Bowl, ran for over 1,300 yards last year with the Seattle Seahawks. They were the champions, and that is a big, big plus. It also tells me that the Chiefs realized they weren't going to get Jordan Love from Notre Dame. He was not going to be available. Chiefs had the ninth pick in the first round, and they got to thinking, well, he's not going to be there. Jordan Love won't be there. So let's sign Kenneth Walker. He is a proven pro, played at Wake Forest and Michigan State, most of his running at Michigan State, and is a solid player. Hopefully that will be the answer to their running problems. They do need help on the line. They did get Khyiris Tonga from the Patriots for their defensive team, and he's also a part-time offensive player, 335 pounds, and he is a load. Kid out of Brigham Young, very big, very quick. That'll help Chris Jones quite a bit on the edge rushing circumstance. Okay, Khyiris Tonga comes to the team, and yeah, here comes Travis Kelce back for a 14th year. Does he have it anymore? Well, he says he does. The Chiefs evidently think so because they're going to pay him. I'm just wondering about their salary cap. They have to be right at the salary cap or below it tomorrow. Now, are they going to deal anybody else along the line, or are they already there? I don't know how that works, to be honest with you. But I do know that with Jalen Watson going as a free agent to the Rams, that does leave a hole in the defensive backfield, and that's one that's going to have to be addressed. But the Chiefs do have 2 first-round draft choices, 9 and 29. They have the Rams pick at number 29 in the first round, and they have 2 more in the entire draft scheme. Also, I think the other 2 are in the 6th and 7th rounds. But be that as it may, they do have some draft choices, and evidently Mr. Veach had some players picked out who he thinks can step in and fill that hole. But yeah, busy day of rocking and rolling and shifting gears for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, 10 o'clock last night, the Chiefs also announced they were signing Gilman from the LA Chargers. $15 million fully guaranteed. That is that's the replacement for Watson, and I think Gilman's a great pickup too. So we'll see. Gilman is gonna fill that role, and I think he's a strong safety. But also, don't look past Dave Merritt and what he's done in that back room. Man, he's an incredible coach, and I think getting Gilman in there and anchoring it, we're going to see some differences and different schemes, and that's good. That's a good thing. I think, like I said last year, we were so complacent, and you could tell everything needed to be changed. And one of the things about bringing Kenny Walker, though, is Mahomes is going to have to play under center a lot more than he has been. So we'll see if that comes to fruition. Missouri State basketball Bears, when they back out on the court.
And baseball as well,
Yeah.
but the baseball team will be on the diamond, not on the court. Basketball plays tonight, and this is the first game in the Conference USA tournament, the way it has it scheduled. The Bears will take the court in Huntsville, Alabama at 5:30 this afternoon, and they're taking on the Florida International team. And the Bears split with Florida International during the course of the season. Bears can win this game if they play well. But now, Mike, we're in a situation in international competition. It's called the knockout round. That means one done. And that's where we are in college sports with the basketball tournament coming up. One loss, Gonzo, you're out of there. Anyway, the Bears play Florida International. The Lady Bears will play later on this week on a Thursday afternoon. But as far as the men are concerned, they play the first game of the tournament. It's tonight at 5:30 against Florida International. Now, we mentioned, and I'll take this away, the baseball team as well is on the field. They're down in Cape Girardeau to play Southeast Missouri. The Bears have been playing well. They're hitting the ball. Southeast Missouri is a very formidable baseball team, and they're playing at home. They're an Ohio Valley Conference team, and they can play well. This will be a nice little challenge for the Bears on the road at Cape Girardeau, and then from there, they go on the road to Lynchburg, Virginia, for the opening of conference play this weekend with Liberty. So things are morphing out now and getting into the meat of the baseball season as well as basketball.
Last but not least, the Bears, again, we mentioned playing on the Diamond, and you playing in Cape Girardeau. I remember growing up and watching those guys play as a kid when they were SMS, and it's always fun to see that. I don't know if they were ever true rivals, but
oh heavens,
back
the Bears
in the
in
day,
Southeast Missouri,
the
conference rivals in the MIAA. The Bears in Southeast Missouri were actually very bitter rivals in football, basketball, and baseball. And then when the Bears moved on, which was 1981, their relationships with Southeast Missouri became very fragmented. They didn't play often at all. And I don't remember the last time they got together in anything. I think it was in basketball. There was one year, and it was about 4 or 5 years ago. I remember this very well. It was right before the Christmas season. And Southeast Missouri came up here with a record of 0-12 and 1.
Yeah, of
course.
Oh, boy. Of course they did. Of course they did. Ned, have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.